Hey Hoopers, it's Deanne Love here, and we're going to do a Q&A video right now because we have been in the studio. We've been filming for 7 hours. That means I've been hooping for 7 hours straight. And so I thought that I would answer some of your questions that you asked on Instagram and on Facebook right now before I collapse. Okay, so we're going to go to Instagram first, and I'll read out the beautiful questions that I got, and I'll try and answer them all. If I don't answer them all in this video, then we'll do another one really soon. So Jenny Hope, she asked, why am I hurting my hands why am I hurting and bruising my hands when spinning on my hands? Oh, yeah. That is usual, doesn't make it good, but even today, I mean, I've been hooping for so many years, but even today I've been hooping a lot on my hands and I can feel little kind of pressure bruises. So there's not much flesh, and actually even on your body parts where there is a lot of flesh, you may get bruises in the beginning, and if you don't hoop on that part for a while, then you can get bruises again when you start hooping on there again, but don't hoop on top of bruises. So if it's just a little red and a little sore, then that is okay. It's your decision if you want to keep hooping on there, but if it's actually bruising, it's not good to continuously beat up yourself with your hoop. So please be careful and take care and find another body part to hoop on while you are mending yourself or your hands. Okay, next one, sense of motion. That's Mexico. Yeah, she asked me, do you have staff? Like contact staff? Staff as in a whole company. Oh, wow, that would be amazing. No, Masal, my husband who's right behind the camera right here, and we work together, and we work sometimes really crazy hours to get stuff done, and then sometimes we have a chill out. But I do have amazing teachers that I work with and that help me out with if I get lots and lots of jobs for kids' classes and I can't do them all, or lots of new hoop students come along, then I have amazing, incredible, awesome teachers that help me out, and but no staff. No. Okay, next one, Otelia, I hope that's how you say it, says, I know this is bad manners to ask a lady her age, but sometimes I feel like I might be too old to do this seriously, really, especially from peers and family members' reactions. Oh yeah. I know in my heart hooping has no age, but just for kicks, how old are you? And besides classes, do you still perform? How old am I? I'm 38. And my birthday is in January, so I'll be 39. How exciting. You are never too old. My mom hoops and she is older than me. 25 years older than me. You can work that out. So no, not old at all. Do you know what? There's actually a Facebook group that is like fabulous hoopers over 40, and there are hoopers of all ages. So never too old. And the family and friends that are kind of reacting in a little like sideways way, just give them a hoop and they'll get to find out how amazing it is. Doesn't matter how old you are. What was the second question that you asked me? That was, and besides classes, do you still perform? No, a few years ago, I made a conscious decision not to perform anymore because I really wanted to focus on my teaching. And I feel like teaching is a performance, but I might do a little show at Sacred Circularities in Bali in June, July, which I'm really nervous about. I never used to get nervous with being doing huge shows. I did like crazy shows, and I never used to get nervous, but I think I'm nervous about this one. So wish me luck. Baby Blue Lorry says, I'm having a hard time keeping my untaped polypro from slipping down to the ground. Do you ever sand the inside of yours to make them grippier? Yes, absolutely. I used to always put grip tape on all of my hoops, but it would often come off, especially if I was hooping a lot or it was warm weather. So I sand all of my polypros. Otherwise, they totally are slippery. This awesome one here is a new one that I got from Pretty Sticky, and it is not sanded. And today I was like hooping on my clothes and it felt really slippery. I had to work extra hard. So make it easy. Hooping's fun. Give yourself all of the advantages that you can get, and one of those is sanding the inside of your polypros, definitely, if you like that feeling. Okay, Phoenix Ra 624 says, I have sciatica and I'm afraid hooping is actually bad for my back. Okay, I am not a doctor, and I really think that it's so important to check your body out professionally if you have any questions about it. There was an article though, actually recently on hooping.org from a woman, I believe, who has a similar condition to you, and she talked about the benefits of hooping for her body. So you should totally go check that out. I'll try and link it down below this video, and I hope that hooping is good for you and it does strengthen your body, and please take care. Okay, Izzy Han says, what's the best size and weight for a general beginner's hoop? Thank you. No, thank you. Best size and weight. Oh, you know what? This is probably like the biggest question, or the question that I got asked the most, because of course, there are so many new amazing beginners to hooping, and that makes me really happy, but we're all kind of a different size. So generally speaking, most of us believe that your hoop should touch the floor and at least come up to your belly button if you are starting out hooping. But that also depends on your level of fitness and strength and your height and your weight and all of these other things. But this is what I totally recommend you do. Get in contact with a hoop maker in your area, or someone on Etsy, or someone that you are recommended or have been recommended, and chat to them. Tell them about what you plan to do with your hoop and the style of hooping maybe that you want to do, and your height and your weight and all those things, and they will craft one especially for you. Okay, Gem Hoops. Oh, this is actually, Miss Al, this is a question about you. It says, yes, I've wondered who films your tutorials and who made your cool pink animation at the front of your videos. I love them all, and you. Well, I love you, and I also love the man who films all of my tutorials and made that cool pink animation, because he is so super duper clever, and you never ever see him on film, which is really sad. And I kind of want to turn the camera around right now, and so you can see him, but I don't think he's just shaking his head. He's like, no. If you stalk him on Instagram, you will see my husband Masal does all of the filming and the editing, and he creates all of the introductions, and he's just like mind-blowingly clever, and I couldn't do any of this without him. I'd just be like hooping maybe with my iPhone. So thank you. Oh, this one is the same. Oh, Masal, everyone wants to see who you are. You're like this mystery man. So Marilyn Nova White. That sounds very exotic. Her question is, who's filming your tutorials? Come on, we have to show everyone. Is it your husband? Yes, it's my husband. And is he hooping too? Masal, do you hoop?
He used to.
Actually, he did used to. And you know what? So when I first started hooping, I was living in Tokyo in Japan, and Masao is Japanese, so we met there, and I met hula hoops, and I was like, well, I really want to hula hoop every single day, but I was working full time as a primary school teacher. And so after work, I would come home and all I wanted to do was hoop. But I didn't want to go to the park by myself alone in the dark, because sometimes I would hoop till like midnight or something crazy. And Masal would come with me. And in the beginning, he was like really awesome at doing all like the hard tricks that I couldn't do, like all the techie stuff and like all the throws and body rolls. He got knee hooping way before me. And yeah, so he used to hoop a lot, but maybe he has to watch so many of my videos now that maybe he doesn't want to hoop anymore. Oh. Okay, Hot Hoops. I know who you are. Hot Hoops has an Etsy store that sells cool hula hoops. Check it out. Says, how are you such a babe? Hula hooping, of course. Oh, cool. Phoenix Ra 624 is back again. And she says, I think it's a she. Oh, yes, a beautiful profile picture. Says, I'm on a budget, but I'd like to know where you purchase your leggings. Oh, okay. A lot of the leggings that I have had, or I've been wearing in my tutorials, were from Black Milk back in the day, but I really love wearing kind of loose, baggy clothing these days, so I haven't bought a pair of expensive leggings for a really long time. Sometimes I would go on ASOS, and sometimes I would just like troll the internet and look for cool leggings, and then sometimes people would give them to me as a present because people are so sweet and beautiful and amazing. And yeah, Black Milk, I think, are kind of expensive, but there are tons of websites now with awesome variations of the Black Milk designs. So I'm just, yeah, leggings are like amazing, blown out of the water, incredible piece of fashion, aren't they? So you can still buy budget ones. Yeah, totally. Cool. Okay, Brittany KC125 says, how long were you hooping before you were comfortable enough to perform? That's really cool. Actually, I don't know if I was comfortable enough to perform the first time that I did it. It was just, I was so obsessed with hooping, like nothing has changed. And a friend was having a fashion launch at a club in Tokyo, and he was like, you hoop, you should totally do a show. And I was like, yeah, that would be a really great idea. Of course I will. And I got a Super Hooper LED hoop, which was just needed in the club. And I remember I wore their outfit, their like designer wore their t-shirt and like a little pair of like jean shorts or something, and I practiced a little bit. I knew no tricks, and I remember thinking, like, when I first went to go to the club, I actually said to myself, I was like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? I can't do this. I don't even know. Like, I basically just maybe knew the weave and like on body hooping, and do you know what Marcel said to me, which is always so sweet? He was like, no one else in that club, in that room can hoop, and no one can hoop like you. So just get out there and just do your best and just have a great time. And of course, I was terrified and the club was so gorgeous, and I was kind of like, you know, just waiting backstage, and all of my friends came to cheer me on because they were amazing. And so that support really helped me. But performance is a really big thing. I went on this huge evolution of my style, and I just learned so many things through performance. So just go for it. Why not? Just have a go. You will learn so much about yourself, and and everyone's gonna love you. So do it. Send us a video. Oh, this is a sweet question. It's from Mrs. Brown Spins Around. I happen to love your Instagram name, by the way, and I know we're connected on Instagram, and thank you so much for all of your sweet support. But Mrs. Brown Spins Around, is your name really Mrs. Brown? That's amazing. Who is your greatest inspiration? You have played that role for so many of us. I have always wondered who you admire the most. Oh, thank you. That's really sweet. Do you know what? This question is really, really hard because I am inspired by so many different people. I think like I'm inspired by anyone, any human, which is probably every human, that has overcome something really intense and just moved forward and overcome their fears, overcome trauma, overcome just things in their life, and they're just still there living their life the best that they can. So that really inspires me. But if you mean hoopers that inspire me, oh, can I say all of them? Everyone. I'm inspired by everyone that's doing what they love and doing positive, awesome work in the world. I think this is the last question on the Insta post that I put up. I hope that I haven't missed your questions. And I'll also go over to Facebook and I will do another video because it's time for dinner. So Mire13 says, where can I buy hoops that do not cost too much? And how big should your hoops be? Thank you for being such a great inspiration. That can't read. Where can you buy hoops that don't cost too much? Oh, that's a hard question for me to answer because I think that I would, if I had $1 million, then I would buy $1 million hula hoop because I'm so obsessed. Etsy, you can buy hoops on Etsy. And I would say that anyone that crafts hula hoops and sells them online or at the markets or at a store is selling them for a really, really fair, amazing price because it takes so much time, energy, love, heart, soul to create, especially decorated hoops. So usually I think they're, maybe between like $30 and $45. That is such a low price for this incredible piece of joy. So Etsy is a good one. I also buy my hoops from all over the place. I actually buy hoops from Super Hooper in the States, and I buy hoops from Pretty Sticky in Australia. And I used to make hoops myself. You could have a go at making hoops yourself, but sometimes it gets expensive when you have to buy all of the things if you just want to make one hoop. So pick a hoop seller, hoop creator that you love, and buy one of their hoops. So I can see that it's starting to get dark outside, which means that I have been here for way too long, and so has Marcel. So we are going to go and have some yummy dinner. Thank you so much for asking me all the questions, and I will put up another Insta and another Facebook request, and you can ask me other questions. I will happily answer them for you if I can. So huge hoop love from me to you, and I will see you in the next video.